Hello again, everybody. I'm here once again with another episode of I Played a Thing, Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Last time, we finished up with No Man's Wharf, opened up the alternate path to the Lost Bastille, and in said Bastille, I kind of forgot which part of the level was on the opposite side of the Ruin Sentinels, and kind of floundered around for a bit. Well, I will get lost, it's sure as death and taxes. And now I think I've got my bearings a little better, so hopefully we'll be able to proceed a little less haphazardly. We did also upgrade our stats quite a bit and can now use the sea bow and the tower shield. So that's a definite plus. And let's see if we can add one more level onto our total with our consumables here. Yeah, seek, lest. We know the routine. And yes, looks like we can afford another level, so let's do exactly that. We've got all the intelligence and faith we immediately need. Still gonna need lots of vitality, so that's a valid choice. Another attunement still wouldn't get us a spell slot, so I'm gonna skip on that for the moment. Well, you know what, let's just get one closer to the intelligence we need, because I am going to want to use that sorcerer staff sooner than later. Oh, and by the way, in the part that I cut out leading up to the second Ruin Sentinel fight last episode, I did buy some more arrows from McDweef, so if you notice I have more ammunition and are not sure where it came from, there's your answer. Right. Back to business. We now have yet another bonfire unlocked in the Lost Bastille, and it is going to be the Far Fire. Or not the Far Fire, that's where we are now. The Servants' Quarters. Alright. Let me get my immediate bearings. Yeah, that's definitely the way we came in, because there's that undead citizen who tried to blow us up yet again. Up there, I don't recall exactly where that goes, so I'm going to start out by exploring the downstairs. Ah, be wary of overwhelming enemy. That is because, if memory serves, there is another pursuer down here. Well, no better time than the present to take him on. Hey, bro. Why don't you try and rush me like you do? No, don't guard break me. That's what I was looking for. Get some of these little obstructions out of our way. Don't want to be stuck on a crate when we need to dodge. Alright, almost halfway down already. That's a good start. And those stamina upgrades are starting to pay off for us. Go ahead, do your rush. Oh, magic time. Oh, I done got cursed. That sucks. Oh well. I thought maybe if I got in close right in front of him that I would be able to avoid those attacks, but I did not. And so I am cursed, but at least I am not killed. It's a victory, and I'll take it. We got a large club, which is not actually a bad weapon for a strength character. I'll take a quick peek at that. Actually, that might even be better for strike damage. Let's find out. Yeah, it does hit a little harder. It's definitely a lot heavier than the hammer, and I don't like its moveset as much, but that's probably something worth experimenting with. It's got a nice A scaling in strength. And it's a large wooden club. Not an elegant weapon by any means, but a beastly thing with plenty of weight to easily break a shielded defense. Let's take a look at that. Haha, we are now Cave Woman Salad. Now the downside to this weapon, its R1 combo is strictly vertical, and while it does have a horizontal sweep with R2, that is a bit on the slow side. Now I see over here we have a place to insert a Pharos Lockstone, and that's no bad thing if we have one. I don't recall for sure offhand if we do. But first I thought I saw a chest down here. Also, I should heal up a little bit. Where was that chest? Ah, here we go. Oh. Okay, we now have a priest's chime. Did we already? I think we might have had one of those already. Let's find out. Ah, no, it was a cleric's sacred chime. The priest chime is a little bit of an upgrade, I believe. And it is a sacred chime granted to high-ranking clerics. Drang Lake was the home of many clerics, but King Vendrick held a lukewarm opinion of their powers, and kept them only as attendants to ceremony. In this sense, Drang Lake was not the place for a cleric with any ambition. Bet old Trusty Patches would have liked it here if they're not real big on clerics. Anywho, let's see if we've got a lockstone. Negative. Crap. Alright, well I'll keep this in mind as a place to come back to. At least now we've got the pursuer cleaned out. Are there any light sources down here? No. Okay, fair enough. And you know something? For putting paid to that pursuer, we have a decent chunk of levels in our inventory now, and I believe, in fact, it's going to be enough to take us up another level. So give me a moment real quick, we're going to do that.
Bearer, seek, lest fit.
With the bearer and the seeking and the lest and the hey hey hey. And that'll give us enough smarts to start using that sorcerer's staff of ours. I'm going to put that in my offhand, like so. Don't actually have any attunement slots yet, so come to think of it, that's not really a sensible thing to do. We'll put that away for now. And we've got a few souls left over, so let's see if we can upgrade our bow, maybe.
I knew you.
Reinforce. And there's the sea bow, and that's going to be my go-to bow, I think, for the entirety of the game, so as good a thing as any to spend our Titanite shards on. Alright, and I do have one more large Titanite shard, but I just don't have enough cash to put any more souls into that right now. And as I think I mentioned last time, for any further tower shield upgrades we'll need chunks. Just like Dark Souls 1, chunks are a little hard to come by in this game sometimes, so I'm going to hold off on spending chunks on items that I don't think I'm going to use all the way through the game, so we'll probably not upgrade the tower shield any further than I already have it. But even at its current level, it's still quite a good shield, so it'll be useful to us for a good while yet.
Equipment can be supplied now, even you. I'll be around.
And Leningrass needs a lot of money spent on upgrades in order to get us that loyalty gift that we eventually have coming to us. Oh well. Back to the servants' quarters, and we will start exploring the other way out of that area. And I need to get my hands on a lockstone. Can't remember if there are any more on this level. I'll just have to remember that this is a place I need to come back to. Left ahead. So where is this exactly? Oh, hey, buddy. Well, that club is kind of fun, I gotta admit. What do we have up here? I don't reliably remember. Oh, I think there might be some citizens here, so I'll have to step carefully. Oh, there he is. This one a little less dead, so... yeah, you have to make sure you start your attack at the right time to keep from getting blown up there. Alright, nothing else here. And if memory serves, this door opens into a whole lot of nothing. Yeesh. Rest in peace, wall skeleton. Alright, and up this way, what have we got? Not at all certain. Well, I see a couple more citizens there, so... caution is certainly warranted. Ah, so far so good. The ones with the yellow glow inside their body, I believe, are the ones that can inflict petrification on you. Not 100% certain of that, but I believe it may be the case. Ah! Hi! Oh. That was not good. Lots and lots of citizens in this area, and also apparently a levitating bit of smashed pottery. Well, that's something you don't see every day. And I hear rattling. When you hear that kind of rattling, that means there is a citizen about, so we're not out of the woods with respect to those guys. Also, I would like to note for the record that I am lost again. Come on, you knew it was inevitable. Some green blossoms, I think we've seen those before, but let me just check. Yes. Are there any other illusory walls out of this place, or is that all we get? That is not all we get. The hell is out here? Ah, another pursuer. Well, we've got a really big smashy item for bashing his face in with this time, if I could hit correctly with it. It's slow, but oh, does it hurt. Yikes! Still gotta be careful, don't we? Not you're too far away to hit with that, buddy. Need some stamina. Need some stamina. Oh. Let's try not to get cursed this time. There, that'll do. Perfect. Another nice collection of souls, and another Twinkling Titanite to add to our collection. I have to say, though, I am not really feeling the moveset and swing speed of this club. Take a little bit of a damage reduction with our hammer there, but I think it is worth it. Alright, let's see if I can recover the glowy over there across the gap here. Shit! The hell was that? Alright, down here would be another path. I'm not going to go that way just yet. Is this the way we came before? Gone and gotten myself lost again. Oh yes, I remember this room. There's a citizen here somewhere. Oh, hello! Oh, thought I could beat him to the punch. Guess he showed me. Am I still wearing my regen ring? No, I'm not. That's right, I put on the Royal Soldier's ring. That was just a little off-screen stuff that I was experimenting with. Let's put the regen ring back on for now, because I don't really need the Royal Soldier's ring so much with that club out of my inventory. Whew, just barely got that one. Ah, didn't get that one. Jerk. Okay, there was one that was hiding here. Oh, he's upstairs, okay. Yeah, come on down, friend. Not gonna put one over on me. That's some quality smashing. Anything of import up here? Just an explosive barrel. I'm leaving that alone. Anything of import here? Also a negative. Alright. So this is the way we went before, and I died in rather embarrassing fashion. I do want to get over there, so let's give this another try, shall we? Much better. Ah, and lots of light-producing stuff. I'm not quite done exploring over there, so let's see if we can make the jump back, and yes. And you, I think you're that jerk who shot the barrel before and blew me up. Well, we got his gloves, at least. Ah, and the bracing knuckle ring. That is a ring that can be useful for low durability items because it slows the degradation of your equipment. It is a knuckle ring worn by Roy the Explorer. Slows equipment degradation. Expensive flashy gear will not always make life easier for you. Sometimes you just need your tried and true equipment to last the long haul. And that can be very valuable for certain powerful but fragile equipment that you might find later in the game. Right now we don't really have anything that fits that description. There we go. And this is that place that I talked about before where we came in the other way and there would be a pursuer down there that would kind of have us in a bad position. I believe, if memory serves, we'll eventually be able to come through here from another direction. And so that'll go better for us. Now, if I'm not mistaken, the path just kind of looped on itself. Yeah, let me double check on that. I really feel like I'm getting more lost here than I usually do. But then again, I am recording, so that may just mean I'm more self-conscious about it than I typically am. Alright. Up here, I believe I recall what is in this direction, and it's a very good place to discover. As always, we'll want to be wary of citizens running around loose. Like you. You're not running around loose, but I'm not taking any chances. And what is over here? I don't remember with any certainty. Oh, okay, a treasure. A skeptic spice. That is just like the simpleton spice, except it lowers the stat requirements for miracles rather than for sorceries. We'll go ahead and take a look at it. A spice exuding a peculiar aroma. The spell demands devotion from its caster, but using this spice makes a chosen spell attainable with one less faith. Will only work with assistance from a certain person. The spice does not raise one's faith, but only obfuscates the requirement. So yes, we will eventually meet the person that will allow us to use these spices in order to lower the requirements for magic and for miracles, but that's going to be a little ways off yet. Now, if memory serves, this is the path to the next area beyond the Lost Bastille, and I'm not quite ready to move on yet, but I think there's a treasure around the corner that we can get. If a guarded treasure. Just a bunch of life gems, but in enough of a quantity that I'm pleased to see them nonetheless. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that's the next area, and I am not ready to go there yet. So let's continue our explorations for the time being. Ah, yes, this is what I was thinking it was. There are a bunch of citizens here, so we do want to be very careful. They're kind of slow to aggro, though, so that's kind of a saving grace for us. Can't go that way at this point. Now, this gentleman is why I wanted to make sure I had a spare fragrant branch of yore, not only because there's a bonfire on the other side of him, but also because that's not just a hollow. This is an actual NPC, and a very cool one indeed. So, without wasting any time, let's go ahead and get him free. Hey, buddy.
Still a bit stiff, I'm afraid. I must thank you, young traveler. I am Straid, a wandering sorcerer of sorts. I've been a guest for a very long time, but I don't think that anybody will miss me.
Well, nice to meet you, Straid. That's some pretty scary clothing you've got there.
Very good. Very good indeed. Cursed one, weak you may be, but I, Straid, will teach you my spells.
We can also learn the mock gesture from him, which is just a shrug, really. And it's good to be able to shrug, because all kinds of wacky shit will happen in the course of our adventures. And we'll also see what he has to say about his long imprisonment and what have you.
Oh, how long was I sat petrified? Long enough for the old kingdom to have crumbled, I see. Why didn't anyone wake me sooner?
So this guy's been around at least since the time of Drang Lake, perhaps longer.
Drang Lake. I've never heard the name. Is that what they call this place now? Very good. Very good indeed.
Okay, so he completely missed the time of Drang Lake. He's from an earlier country, I suppose.
The cursed ones were imprisoned within this land. Of course, you came of your own free will. The people fear the cursed ones like a plague. Some people would rather keep dreadful things out of sight, out of mind. In the end, they swept them up and corralled them here. So very typical of meek minds, don't you think?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. Also, it's interesting that this confirms that this Lost Bastille here has been around even since before the time of Drang Lake, since Straid completely missed that era and he's still familiar with it. And the persecution of the undead goes back a very long time. But then again, we knew that too, because after all, we began the first of our adventures in Lordran's Undead Asylum.
Once people became aware of their own frailty, they seized anybody they found undesirable, cursed or no, and impounded them here. Whoever posed even the slightest threat was removed, all so that they could sleep better at night. They even turned the great Straid into a stone.
Well, that explains why we didn't see any basilisks around like we often do with the petrification victims. Straid was committed to stone by his jailers. Wow, they must have really been afraid of this guy.
Many kingdoms rose and fell on this tract of earth. Mine was by no means the first. Anything that has a beginning also has an end. No flame, however brilliant, does not one day splutter and fade. But then, from the ashes, the flame reignites, and a new kingdom is born, sporting a new face. It is all a curse. And it is your cursed flesh that will inherit the flame.
Aw, not again. Yeah, the whole inheriting the flame with our cursed flesh, that's something we have experience with. And with the whole death and rebirth thing, too.
Pyromancy was created by the ancient witch of fire. She harnessed the power of flame and melded it into pyromancy. The witch led her daughters into war against the old ones. But legends are legends. What are you prepared to believe?
Well, I don't know, Straid. I find that particular legend pretty believable, considering I totally killed that witch and fed her soul to the Lord vessel.
How long was I set? Long enough. Why didn't it?
Now, seems like that's all he's got to say for the moment. Let's see what he's got for sale. Well, we've got the Agape ring, which is a new addition to Scholar of the First Sin. A ring affixed with an open vessel. The vessel insatiably absorbs souls in place of its wearer, who is left unaware even of their collection. All things are rooted in souls, but what drives our thirst for them? Abstinence from this elixir may be the truest homage to an enduring self. So this is a ring you can use to keep yourself from gaining souls, so that you can keep your soul memory low if you want to do that for matchmaking purposes or whatever. And the Ring of Knowledge is quite expensive and is just a straight-up intelligence boost. And the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring. I'm not going to buy this one right now because I think it's fairly easy to get an upgraded version later, but let's take a look at this, because the lore is the subject of some controversy. A ring used long, long ago in a land that existed where Drang Lake does now. Extends length of spell effect. The ancient dragons were once worshipped in several nations, and rumors concerning objects of similar enchantment to this uncommon ring abound in many lands, though their origins are no longer verifiable. A ring used long, long ago in a land that existed where Drang Lake does now. That is the thing that makes a lot of people think that Drang Lake is the site of what was once Vinheim. Because if you may recall from Dark Souls 1, the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring is an artifact that originally came from Vinheim. However, I do not particularly buy into this theory. I mean, it's valid and the game never really confirms one way or the other. However, it only says that the ring was used long ago in a land that existed where Drang Lake does now. It doesn't say the ring was created there, or that the ring originated there, only that it was used there. Now we know that Griggs had his Lingering Dragon Crest Ring along when he visited Lordran, and it's quite possible the player of Dark Souls 1, whoever your cursed undead was back in the day, used the ring. Certainly Salad in her previous adventure made good use of the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring. So, I don't think that's necessarily conclusive evidence that Drang Lake is what used to be Vinheim, or that it disproves that Drang Lake is in the same place that Lordran used to be. Just my thoughts. And I do think the overall evidence for Lordran, such as the Lord Vessel remnants and some other things we'll see later, I think it's overall stronger. But your mileage may vary. And here we have Rouge Water. I don't think we've seen that before. But I'm sure I'll be getting it later. Just gives you some HP along with some spell uses back, so it's kind of like a combination of Life Gem and an herb. And here we see one of the two main things that Straid is particularly useful for. He has lots of spells, a couple of miracles, some pyromancies, and some hexes. So we can assume from this that Straid is a scholar of every school of magic. In the long run, Flame Swathe is going to be a pretty useful one that I'm sure I'll be picking up, but for the moment, what I want to make sure I take along with me is Cast Light. Now that has an intelligence requirement of 14, which we will probably never have. However, we can use Simpleton Spice to get that down to 10, and so I'll be able to use this as a utility spell. Cast Light is a sorcery that dates farther back than recollection. Yeah, we may recall that it came from Ulasil originally. And it creates a light that illuminates one's surroundings. Light banishes dark and reveals all. Whether this is desired is another matter. Now, Cast Light is much handier in Scholar than it was in Vanilla Dark Souls 2, because there are many more dark areas, and this is preferable to a torch on many levels. The only thing about it that's worse than a torch, really, is that it can't light sconces, of course, and also the duration. But no one else can see the light but you. Not invaders and not enemies, so it doesn't increase aggro radius or give your position away as readily as a torch would. And of course it doesn't take up your shield hand. Now there's one other thing that's important about Straid, and that's that he can trade. He is one of the two people in the game that can convert boss souls into other things. For starters, he can trade the Ruin Sentinel soul for the Heavy Homing Soul Arrow sorcery. And there's no other use for the Ruin Sentinel soul. The other character that likes boss souls can't do anything with it, so we might as well grab that and take a look at it. One of the sorceries devised by Straid, the Great Mage of Ancient Olafis, fires thick, powerful soul arrows that seek their targets to the end of the earth. That's probably overselling its homing ability a bit, but it is what it is. Requires a whole 35 intelligence, so I'm sure we'll never use it. Actually, you know what? There's no particularly good reason for us to ever actually use that. Well, no, I can't say that. We'll go ahead and take it. I was briefly considering just eating the Ruined Sentinel Soul, but you never know, especially considering I may respec when it comes to time for New Game Plus. And he also trades for weapons. You get the Pursuer's Ultra Greatsword, which is not a bad strength weapon, although it does require a little more dexterity than we have. And also for the Pursuer's Soul, we could get his Great Shield. Since we can only take one, I'm going to look at the descriptions for both, since I think they both have a bit of lore. Ultra Greatsword of the Pursuer. Known as the mightiest of the straight swords, it demands great strength and dexterity of its wielder. The pursuer hunts down those branded by the curse, as if each undead soul that he claims will atone one of his sins. And the shield? Great shield of the pursuer. For those who can handle the weight of the shield, it offers resistance to curses. Oh, same lore, actually. Alright then, we can take either of these. We can only have one this playthrough because there's only one pursuer soul to be had. And although I don't think I will actually use it, there are plenty of good shields available, so I think I'm going to go with the sword. And there are 3 things we can make from the Flexile Sentry Soul. There's the Warped Sword, a curved sword forged from the soul of the Flexile Sentry, once straight, but later twisted to reflect its warped owner. The Sentry crammed inmates of the overflowing Bastille onto a rickety ship and cast them out to the open sea. The majority of them drowned or starved, but a few hardy survivors made land to the south and imparted their knowledge of sorcery to the people there. Well, that's a dexterity weapon, so not one we'll probably want to use. The Art Sword is likewise heavy on dexterity. There is something unsettling and at the same time beautiful about its long curved blade. Same lore. And the Barbed Club, which also requires a little more dexterity. The club forged from the soul of the Flexile Sentry. The spikes covering its length are as vile as the Sentry itself. Well, I think out of these, our best choice would probably be the Barbed Club, even though it requires more dexterity than we're terribly likely to have. It causes some nice bleed buildup, and at least in previous patch states of the game, it had a little glitch in that you could infuse it with an element at McDuff's, and it wouldn't lose anything. That is, its base damage and scaling wouldn't go down. I don't know if that still works, but it's kind of neat, so we'll go ahead and take that. And the Giant Stone Axe is a very high strength requirement weapon, but we may actually have that much strength at some point. Let's have a closer look at that. A Great Axe forged from the last giant soul. This weapon resembles a primitive stone tool, but is quite powerful owing to its immense size. King Vendrick disappeared as of the war with the giants, reached its ferocious peak. That's kind of weird grammar. Leaving his castle. Some swear that upon hearing the news, the Queen's face remained as still as her portrait. Oh, so the Queen is a pretty stoic type, huh? Also, I noticed that the description kind of breaks the text box there. Anyway, this is not a weapon that we're likely to use any more than the others, but there's nothing else we can do with the soul of the last giant, so we'll go ahead and cash it in. And finally, we can have one of 3 items from the soul of the Dragon Rider. You can get his halberd. Halberd of the Dragon Riders, King Vendrick's Royal Guard, a highly versatile weapon that can slash, sweep, and thrust when wielded nimbly, and is also imbued with magic. Demands great skill of its wielder, and thus serve to test the worthiness of those who aspire to join the Dragon Riders. Oh, I'm sorry, there's actually 4 things we can get with this soul. The Dragon Rider Twin Blade is the Twin Blade of the Dragon Riders, King Vendrick's Royal Guard. Twin blades are wielded with an unusual technique. This one strikes hard, but is very heavy. The Dragon Rider Bow. Merely drawing this bow requires inhuman strength, but each shot has deadly potential. And the Great Shield. This actually has some different lore. The rank of Dragon Rider was reserved for honorable warriors who helped found Drangleic. Together with the king, they crushed its former inhabitants and erected a magnificent kingdom upon their graves. So it seems Drangleic was born in conquest, and the Dragon Riders were sort of founding members of the kingdom. Now, the Twin Blade would be interesting in order to show off this weapon type if I had the dexterity to use this one, but I don't. I'll just tell you up front, maybe we'll have a chance to try one out later that doesn't have quite the stat requirements, but Twin Blades are kind of like Darth Maul's lightsaber. You hold them in the middle, preferably with both hands because they don't work very well one-handed, and you can kind of spin them around like a bow staff and just deal multiple hits that way. They don't do very much damage with each individual hit, but they hit a lot of times with each time you swing them, so they're also good for building up poison and things like that, or bleed damage. Now the Dragon Rider Bow I think is the one I'm going to take this time out. Reason being, I may not ever trade in the sea bow for it, but at least has potential. It's probably the best bow in the game, I think, with respect to its strength scaling. And it does a lot of damage, the downside being that it uses up stamina faster than other bows, so you can't fire it as fast. Alright, I think our business with Straid is done for the moment.
Feeble, cursed one. Do you really think you can manage the glories that are my spells?
Well, that's kinda rude. And really, to be honest, I probably won't mostly be able to handle the glories of your spells. However, I do intend to use Cast Light, so at least there's that. And there's a bonfire here, so it's pretty easy to come back and visit Straid when you get other souls or want to make other purchases. Why can't I get through here? There we go. You just have to be careful of the citizens here whenever you come to visit. I'm going to take a look at that alluring skull real quick, because I think that is our first one in this game. A skull of unknown ownership. Smashing it releases traces of souls, which attract nearby foes. Does not work on all enemies, but can prove useful in unexpected ways. So that just attracts enemy attention and works exactly the same as it did in the original Dark Souls. Oh yes, forgot all about that. Excuse me, Straid. And I notice we're up to almost an hour of torch time. Alright, now where have we not been? I think we did go this way. Yep, this was that set of hidden doors and whatnot. This way there's nothing. What about this way? Ah yes, this all looks very familiar. We'll bid our respects to the wall skeleton. Okay, so let's go down here and take the other path. Was it this way? I think it was this way. I am not. Yeah, jumping off there won't actually do anything good for you. And yes, this way is a place we haven't explored quite yet. Is there a guy on the opposite wall over there? No. Dash then jumping, that's exactly what I will do in a moment. But first we'll grab this. Some more flame butterflies. Try jumping. I will. Made it. I agree. Sounds like we've got some dogs down there. That'll be something to be careful of when we eventually descend to ground level. What have we got over here? Oh yeah, that just leads right back into that area with the citizens. We don't want to go back there. Alright, let's see if I can pick off any enemies from here. I think I see a dog down there. Yeah. Just one, but every little bit helps. Anything over here? Nope. Nothing of importance. Oh, there's another dog. Anything else down this way? Not quite yet. We'll start with a ground level exploration. We know there's always something when we see a... Oh, citizens. Ha! That could have turned ugly. And we get the Wanderer set. A coat for the roving type. Light, sturdy leather made for long journeys. Well, that's very straightforward. Anything special about the hat? Nope. Okay. Well, at least we've got a different set of light clothing we can wear when the time comes to do a little more experimenting. So we've got a door there and a door here. Let's try this side first. Danger zone. Never like hearing that, but nothing ventured, nothing gained. Ah, one of you guys. Oh, I see. We've got multiple crossbow guys in there, and explosive barrels, and they have firebolts. So it is kind of a danger zone, isn't it? Let's see, can I shoot this guy's crossbow and make it count? No. Alright, we'll see if we can take out the other guy then. That'll do. Anyone else in here? Just this fella. Yep, got his attention. But that worked out okay. Make sure we smash these exploding barrels. Let's see if there's anything else I can do here. Not at the moment. Let's head upstairs. Alright, decent enough. And this, I believe, is overlooking where we fought that pursuer earlier, where we needed the Pharos Lockstone. I can't really do anything good with that right now. Alright, nothing much in this room, but this looks like it might be another path to take. Let's see what we've got in here. Huh? Whoa, hi. Was not expecting a ninja in here. Yeah, this I think might actually be a separate area. And it looks like it has another Pharos Lockstone kind of situation to it. So I actually don't really remember this. Well, we'll see what we can see. Looks like a saint to me. Parrying dagger. Might as well give it a look. Unlike standard weapons, this dagger is intended for parrying. Accomplishments are forever out of reach to those who constantly fear failure. A true warrior hones his body and mind, and peers far beyond immediate hardship. I wonder if that was a subtle crack at me using my shield too much instead of parrying. Oh, and a standard twin blade. Let's see what the dex requirements are for this one. Maybe I can demo it. If I can find it. The hell is it? There it is. Nope, the dexterity is still well out of reach. Oh well. We can nevertheless see that it is a twin blade fashioned from rare Bastille. Designed for high-ranking Drangleic knights, hence the decorative design. Geisteel equipment is of the finest make, but Geisteel is so rare that very few of these weapons were actually used in combat. Any other goodies around here? Ah, yes indeed. A bone staff. Staff crafted with animal bones, a catalyst for sorceries and hexes. Properly trained sorcerers receive their first staff from their master after reaching a certain level of accomplishment. Those without proper training must devise something of their own making. Oh, you naughty rider. Now, which is the way that we came in? Wasn't here, was it? Yes, I have definitely gotten myself lost and confused again. We'll get this figured out. What the hell is this? Oh, this is right out to that first bridge, near the tower apart. Okay, so this isn't of any particular use to me. So for lack of a Pharaoh's Lockstone, I won't be able to do anything else major here. Wilted Dusk Herb. What is the deal with that? Ah, restores many spell uses. A wilted and faded stalk of Dusk Herb. A Dusk Herb in bloom works wonders, but will wilt in the blink of an eye. Needless to say, finding such an herb is of the utmost difficulty. Now, where will this take me? I'm not entirely certain. Ah, okay. So that's right up to here, where the next area is. Now, I believe with some careful falling, you can get an extra treasure by carefully jumping back. But I don't feel like taking risks at the moment. What is this way? Oh, this is the way I came in. So was there one other path out? I do apologize, folks. I really do not remember my way around this part at all. Okay, that was that. What about this ladder over here? Alright, that's the way out toward the beginning of the level. Alright, so without a Pharaoh's Lockstone, I've done as much in this particular spot as I can for the moment. Just someplace to remember for later. What have we got down this way? Just another way into the same spot, it appears. Fair enough. That shouldn't be possible. And we've got another door to check out, so might as well. Ah, and this is what the antiquated key opens. Okay, well that answers that. I think I just got some citizen attention. And this is the kind that does not self-destruct, but can blow up over and over again, so we'll treat him with caution. Where you see one citizen, there's often more. So I'll proceed with caution. Yep, I hear rattling. Where's he at? In here, I'll bet. Yep, I see the sucker. And there's another. Ha! Just in time. And some more flame butterflies for our trouble. Always welcome. I see a light source, which means I'm definitely going to want to step outside and spark up my torch. And there we go. Is there anything else to do in here? I'm not entirely sure. Oh yes, there's another exit. And I see a crossbowman, and we cannot have that. There's another one angling for a shot at me, but I'm gonna beat him to the punch. Boom, headshot. And now, if memory serves, stepping out here is where I'm going to encounter that pursuer that I was trying to avoid dealing with last time. See, if I came out here and just came down from above, I would have to deal with those crossbowmen, and some dogs as well. Let's just go ahead and get this guy out of the way. Are there any other enemies that I can hit from here? Because whenever you're taking on a pursuer, you want to do it with as little interruption as possible. Okay, let's go for it. Oh yeah, we can smash down these watchtowers, so might as well go ahead and do it. Nothing up on that one, but I see some treasure on the other. Oh, dog. Multi-dog. You guys gonna come over? These dogs have a very short attention span. But I do not want to take them on together with a pursuer, so if I can deal with them a little early, I'll be happy about that. Shit, might have missed my shot. Another alluring skull. Never a bad thing to have. Ah, and I see the dog again. There we go. Now, whenever the pursuer decides to pop out, we should be able to take him on in relative safety, I should say, as safely as fighting a pursuer ever gets. Oh shit, there he is. Caught me a little bit by surprise, he did. I didn't think he was going to come from that direction. There we go, you do that uppercut as much as you want. Oh, that almost went bad. But overall, this is not going too badly so far. Whoop. Alright. Oh, magic time. Let's try and get on the safe side of him. There we go. And just beat the snot out of him. Perfect. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is knock down the other guard structure there. Once again, nothing on it, but peace of mind. There we go. Is there anything to be found here? Beast to the right. That might have been the dog we just got. Ah, an Estus Flask shard. Now that I'm always pleased to get. And the large Titanite is a nice bonus. So even though there's some danger in this part of the Bastille, the Estus Flask and the Twinkling Titanite and all that do make it worth taking on the Pursuer, and as long as you can do that fairly safely and not just plunging down here into the middle of all the crossbowmen and their dogs. And over here, by pulling this lever, we can open up a shortcut to the workshop. Ah, got me one. Got me several. And you know, at this point, I think we may have explored the Lost Bastille for just about all it's worth. Although we do still have those places we need to use a Pharos Lockstone. I'm certain there's going to be at least one crossbowman up here. Nope, guess I killed them all. But you can see where I am now. This is where the other path led. And yeah, coming down here and walking out of here would activate the Pursuer pretty quickly, and then also have dogs and crossbow guys to deal with, so that's exactly why I did not want to do that. Now I'm just going to backtrack just a little bit and make sure there's nothing else that I want to clear out of here before I decide I've pretty much finished with this area. Anything in here? Oh yeah, that's where those citizens were. Alright. Okay, this is where I just was. Is there anything else I can do in these parts? Oops, I keep retracing my steps inadvertently. I'm doing it again. How did I get in here? Oh, right, the other way leads back into the other part of the building. Sorry, dear viewers. If you've been with me long enough, you know this by now, but yes, my sense of direction really is this bad. Oh, that's right, I dropped down from above. That's how I got here. Alright, that being the case, and me indeed having a goodly supply of souls, I think I've done about enough for now. I'll have to do a little research and find out where I can pick up some lockstones around here in order to open up those areas that I still need to check out, but for the time being I think we've done a sufficient exploration, so I'll go ahead and do some leveling and get that Estus upgrade. Oh yes, before I spend on levels, I think I can upgrade my bow a little bit more here. There we go.
How goes your journey? Take these. They should help a bit.
Ah, finally we get the reward. The blacksmith's hammer. So let's take a look at that real quick. Now, as you can see, at its base level, it's not quite as good as the craftsman's hammer. An ordinary hammer used by a blacksmith can be used as a hammer, but not to any great effect, as it was made to shape weapons, not serve as one. That's not really how I feel about it, though. It's actually a pretty solid weapon. It has the same moveset as the Craftsman's Hammer, it upgrades with regular Titanite rather than Twinkling, and when it's fully upgraded, it actually gets a little better than the Craftsman's Hammer. So, you know what? I'm actually thinking about... yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead and upgrade this one with as much Titanite as we currently have available to do it. Yeah, blacksmith hammers are quite a bit different in Dark Souls 2 than they were in number 1. In the original game, you could only get them by killing their respective blacksmith, but they're awarded to you in this game, and they're actually decent as weapons, which they weren't in the previous. Alright, so we've got the blacksmith hammer, 2+4, and it is now an improvement on the craftsman's hammer, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that in my inventory. I do notice it's a little bit heavier, though. Oh well, it's worth it.
I'll be around if you make it back.
Yep, as you can see, it handles just like the craftsman's hammer. So yeah, I'm a bigger fan of this particular moveset than I am of most hammer types. So this will be a good friend.
Is that a shard you found? Here, let me see it, so that I may help you. To see light, to see hope, however faint it might be.
Hey, I'll take any little bit of hope I can get. And a few levels while we're at it, if you wouldn't mind. Let's see here. Still need an attunement slot. Wow. Even up to level 9, we still don't have a first slot. Alright, well I'm just going to spend 1 on that for now, then. And we'll add some more vitality, because we will certainly be needing that. Alright then. Still did get a little bit lost, and still not sure where I can pick up some more lockstones in order to finish exploring the area, but not too bad. We did pretty well clear out the Bastille this time. It has been a pleasure, folks. I hope you've enjoyed the trip so far, and I hope you will continue to join me along the way. Take care, and I will see you real soon. Today's episode of I Played a Thing has been brought to you by Justin Carpenter, Nolden, Zangamarth, Charlie Dunst, Anonymous Benefactor, John Madigan, Johnny Millennium, Sanguine Games, Misha Van Doren, Craig Patterson, Frank Grizzy, Tim J., Lolo DePuzlo, Joshua C. Ritchie, Jared C. Rice, Darren Chow, Sonic Rose, EX Potemkin, Alicia Goranson, Argyle Jelly, and other generous supporters. Thank you all. Thank you to all commenters, subscribers, and watchers. I very much appreciate your support, and I hope you have an excellent day.